Hi, welcome everyone to my YouTube channel. It's my new YouTube channel, my new venture. I am an engineer by profession, and I just love to read books since my very childhood. Engineering it's a part of profession, you can say, but something which you like is something you should share about, right? So, thought of making this new YouTube channel. It's basically about books and movies, which I frequently see and observe, and the things that I like or not like about it. So, it's my basically the first YouTube channel, the very first video I'm shooting. So hi friends, welcome to my channel. Hope you will like it. Today it's nothing special. We are just gonna discuss about a new book which I just read a few days ago. It's basically a very famous book. I hope many of you have read it. If you have not, I highly recommend it. And don't think that it's basically a first video. The book may not be good if you haven't read that, but trust me, it's one of the best detective story books. And the twist in the tale is what I have seen in this book. The book's name is The Murder in Orient Express by Agatha Christie. It's one of the detective story novels, and as you know, Agatha Christie is one of the best of her kind in writing detective novels and thrillers. So it's basically the first book which I have read of Agatha Christie. I have read many other books of many other story writers like Sherlock Holmes, Hardy Boys, Concerning and the Famous Five, and other detective story books. And like the Bengali ones also, you know, like Feluda, Pandab Goinda, they're all. I'm basically a Bengali. Devjiti Banerjee, my name. Banerjee is the title, so you can guess as much I'm a Bengali. So yeah, I love reading Bengali story books, and I also love reading English ones. So basically, I read the English storybook of Agatha Christie, The Murder in Orient Express. It basically consists of the detective, Mr. Hercule Poirot. Mr. Hercule Poirot, the detective's name. So he is basically traveling in a train. In the first part of the book, we can see that detective Hercule, Mr. Hercule, is a famous officer. He is traveling by the train, and an official has come to leave him by the train in the train for his journey. And there are two other passengers. I won't name them because I want you to read the book and know about them. There are two passengers. Okay, I'm gonna tell it. Mr. Arbuthnot, the protagonist, or the not the protagonist, it is the important character in the beginning of the story, and Miss Debenham. These are two characters. There was something fishy about the two. Hercule Poirot finds it. They were just talking and not talking, because when you meet a person in the very first in the beginning, you just don't get too much comfortable. They were just trying to show that they were comfortable. In Hercule Poirot, it seemed to Hercule Poirot, the methodology of Hercule Poirot is that it doesn't depend much on the statistics, the scientific data, but it basically depends on what you know. It basically depends on the mind, the psychology, what a person can do, what a person is trying to say, what his eyes, his nose, his eye, his appearance, the overall thing. Means how a detective should actually be, using the brain, using the psycho, using the presence of the mind. That is what Hercule Poirot does in this story. So they meet Devanam. There was a bit of late in the train because it had been met with some accident or something like that, and they were a bit late. Devanam was very much at her nerves because what will happen? They are late. How will the job be done? And so and so. So the next Hercule Poirot has no intention of the break journey. His destination was where he was going, but Debenham would also get down from the train at the very station, but they will be breaking the journey and will go into some other part of the train or travel by some other train to some other distant route. But what happens? The storyline is such design that Hercule Poirot somehow, after getting down, gets a letter from his official that he needs to get back through the Orient Express, which was traveling by that evening, because he has some important part of work to do. Now what happens is that the storyline, the one-liners are very much attractive till now. You won't find anything fishy. Where is the murder? Where is the train? What's happening? Because you haven't been introduced to the Orient Express till now, which comes just at 6 o'clock in the evening. So Hercule Poirot, along with many other passengers traveling the train, Mr. Bock was Hercule Poirot's friend. He helps Hercule to get a seat in the train in somehow a good line. Thought that Hercule might like it, but what happens is that though the coachman and Mr. Bock, the main, the official of that train compartment of that line, claims that at this time of the year, never been such commotion, such crew in a train, because it seems very much empty type, because no one travels in that line at the time of the year because there was snow, and any time the train could start in an accident and the journey may stop and the journey may get postponed or stopped in the middle, so no one must travel. But what happened is that it was very serious that all the coaches in the first class were booked. Mr. Hercule Poirot couldn't get a seat. However, Mr. Book traveled him made him an arrangement in one of the compartments, and somehow in a second class compartment he made his arrangement, Mr. Hercule Poirot. But after somewhere near in somewhere in the middle of the station, he gave Hercule Poirot his own first class seat and he shifted to the other. And because at a part of gratitude, when your friend comes in, you see that he is not getting a part of the train, you have the power, you have got something good train, so what you will do, you will just leave your seat and just allow him to just occupy the compartment. And so does it happen. It was very frequent, very fluent, and very much overgoing till now. But what happened the next morning was that the passengers, as it does, it was a 3-day journey, the passengers soon became very much familiar with each other. However, it seemed to Hercule Poirot that it was quite sudden that they became so much friendly among themselves. Never mind, they were just talking. There was a Swedish lady, there was Mrs. Dragomirov, the high rich class lady. Then there were an Italian, there were an Englishman, there were the coach wagoners, as well as there was Mr. Ratchet, a red-eyed, bad-looking fellow whom Hercule at his first sight assumed that he could be associated with a bad thing, a bad intention, some criminal activities or so. It seemed to Hercule Poirot. However, no such claims, because whenever you saw a person, he may have a not so beautiful face, then you can't say that he's a criminal unless you have some proof of it. So Hercule Poirot just kept it to himself. It was a very easygoing. But what happened is that on the second day of the night of the first day of the journey, what they saw was that the train halted for a bit moment at 1 o'clock nearly the night, and there was a huge thud near the door of Mr. Hercule Poirot. He got up and saw there was no one, but a lady was moving in somewhat scarlet kimono type of dress that she was wearing. She called the wagoner. There was a bit commotion. Someone was calling the wagoner for the help, but he was quite busy because everyone was calling him at the same time. There was a commotion which shouldn't be occurring at that part of the night, right? So the next day they came to know that Mr. Ratchet was dead, and after that, after examining the dead body and the associated things with it, Mr. Hercule Poirot came to know that this Ratchet was really a criminal man. He was associated with the Armstrong murder which had occurred in America long before, but due to some evidence, due to some, court activities, he got freed with some minimal amount of jail. He was not sentenced to death. So this Armstrong family, he was a kidnapper actually. They kidnapped a small child of the Armstrong family and demanded a high sum of money but didn't return the child. He killed him along with his mates. So there could be a possibility of that murder. Now as the story unveils, we can see that everyone in the train was somehow, some in way or the other, was connected to the Armstrong family. Mr. Ratchet has even hired a detective who was staying in the 6th compartment. I won't tell you much because he will lose interest. I am just going by the lines. Was staying in that compartment. He also said that he was watching, but how could this death have happened? It was very uncertain, no? A death in the train compartment. But the train was postponed for indefinite amount of time on account of the snow-capped lines that the train had made an accident into. So the story unveils. Slowly and slowly, Poirot uses his detective skills, his psychological mind-reading skills, and somehow he unveils that what happened in the end. The first, the first signs of a murder, what he got, the first symbols which showed him that who was the murderer, was actually deceiving. It was made to create a deceiving action. I won't tell you much, you need to read the story. So what I better tell is that Agatha Christie's story, I haven't read her before. I had heard a huge fan following of Agatha Christie, so I thought of trying a bit, and I'm extremely impressed by the one-liners. You can have the paperback of the book, or there's an app named Storybook, or any book, you can say any book, the green colored app, you can use it. It's a free ebook, you can download. It has been a very popular story. It's also made available in the internet. So go on, have your time, read the book, and do let me know in the comment section whether you like the book or not. Thank you for today. Bye bye. See you. Tada.